You up to the UAE's conversation. Talk Breakfast with Vivek Sunil and Sobia Khan on Talk 100.3.
Yes, आपको जल्द ही मिलाएंगे महेश बलानी से सीईओ हैं ये InsuranceMarket.ae के इंश्योरेंस से जुड़ा
Chief Operating Officer
of InsuranceMarket.ae एंड थोड़ी सी टाइम में InsuranceMarket.ae अगर आपने देखा हो नोट किया हो तो पूरे यूएई में छा गया है। आज हमें पता चलेगा कि किस तरह उन्होंने और उनकी टीम ने ये काम किया और साथ ही साथ क्या और लेकर आए हैं, फ्यूचर प्लान्स क्या हैं इंश्योरेंस से रिलेटेड। कोई भी आपके जहन में सवाल हो, करंट सिचुएशन को जहन में रखते हुए, आने वाले टाइम्स को जहन में रखते हुए, दीज आर जस्ट द लीड्स जो हम आपको दे रहे हैं कि ये मौका है, इससे पूरा फायदा उठाइए। मोबाइल अगर आप उठाते हैं तो उसके लिए नंबर है 800-81003, यानी ये टोल फ्री नंबर है। मोबाइल आप उठाएं और बिल हम।
एंड ऑल्सो आपको बता दें कि महेश बलानी जो है 15 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है इन द यूएई इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री एंड लीडिंग इंश्योरेंस से उन्होंने काम किया है। ही इज कंप्लीटेड हिज DIP CII सर्टिफाइड फ्रॉम चार्टर्ड इंश्योरेंस इंस्टीट्यूट एंड ही होल्ड्स अ बैचलर डिग्री इन मार्केटिंग एज वेल।
जी, आई लाइक द डिगली वर्ड, वेरी गिगली।
क्यों हो रहा है मेरा टंग ऑफ स्लिप हो रहा है?
जी, ये हो सकता है जब दिल फिसल जाता है तो फिर उसके बाद जुबान भी काम नहीं करती। एंड लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू हैव महेश कंपनी एंड हिज हॉट सीट इज वेटिंग फॉर हिम। वेरी सून you'll be able to hear him and we would love to hear from you if you have got any questions insurance related. And now is the time, so it's a pleasure to have you with us, Mahesh, this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure indeed. Today is the time. All the questions we always had in our mind, we're going to ask everything, of course, under the sun when it comes to insurance related. Could be life, could be health, etc., etc. The list is endless.
Yeah, so let's start with what is InsuranceMarket.ae and how does it work?
Okay, Insurance Market is a traditional brokerage company, insurance brokerage company that has a digital experience, right? So you reach out to us on our website, you put up an inquiry, and then we'll send you quotes in your email, and someone will get in touch with you to explain to you what we're offering and give you unbiased advice on what offer to go for that suits your needs the best.
And in a very short span of time, InsuranceMarket.ae has become a household name, if I might say so safely. Mahesh, the reason being that your team works hard to make our lives easier, to get us the best deals. How did it all start? Did you feel that there's a big gap in the market, or you thought that this is a region which needs us, you wanted to do it? Tell us, what's the story?
So that, foresight of our CEO, we started off as a traditional broking firm. Our trade name is Afia Insurance Brokerage Services.
Okay.
And over 10 years ago, our CEO had just taken over, very young at the time, early 20s.
Okay.
And he said, I want people to come online and buy car insurance. And people sort of laughed at it. Said, who's going to come online for car insurance? It's ridiculous.
Okay.
So he set up the website. He picked up the first call. He got the first policy sold. And he did it all himself.
Nice.
And over a decade, we've gone from a team of just under 30 people to over almost 500 people.
Wow.
Mahesh, aate hi we've been starting getting questions already.
Oh wow.
I hope they're not claim questions. But would love to know one more thing before we take the question. What makes InsuranceMarket.ae different,
Okay, that's a good question. I think what makes us different is our personal advisor or personal shopper model, where from the time you inquire and someone gets in touch with you, provides you quotes, gives you the options, explains these options to you, all the way to the purchase and getting your policy activated. You're talking to one person through and through.
Okay.
You are always able to get back to this person. You have his direct contact number, his or her direct contact number. So it's unlike a call center where if you had a question, you call, you got to tell the whole story all over again. The person doesn't know when you inquired. So that makes us different in one way. Once the policy is given to you, we have a dedicated claims manager who's at your disposal to assist you from registering the claim, following it up, making sure it's settled in time, getting your car back in time, or getting your money in your account.
Wow.
All the way through and through.
And this is such a stress relief because we are living in times where, that human touch is, going away, fading out day by day. So it's either, on IVR or maybe a chat session where you cannot hear the voice, you cannot,
understand
put in
the
your
issue,
problem and issues there. So that's nice that there is one person.
There is one person.
Yeah. And the services will be provided directly and you have the mobile number. And now, talking about so many insurances there, let's start with life insurance for all those people who are new to this perhaps or want more clarity, Mahesh, what is life insurance and how it is when it comes to InsuranceMarket.ae?
Okay, so life insurance in a nutshell is a cover that I'd say protects your family or your loved ones by providing a financial support in case you, perhaps as the breadwinner or a key person in the family, meets an untimely death. So I can't say that you can value life, right? So it's one of the objections that comes. How can you set a value for life? Well, you can't set a value for life. Your life is invaluable. But you could actually take a fair estimate on what it would cost for your family to live on, sustain a similar or equal standard of living for the next 10, 20, 30 years if you, God forbid, met with a fatal accident or got really sick, tragedy, stuff like that. So don't think about it as you setting a value in your life. Think about that you're setting aside a small kitty which is way cheaper than you setting aside millions in case something happened.
So what are the types of life insurance? For example, there is a time when when you touch 60 on maturity you get the money back as well. Even those
Very
types.
Good question. So there is pure protection where you say that, look, in case something happens, I want my family to be taken care of, or in case severe illness hits me like a stroke or a cancer, I need an additional financial support to get through that because how long am I going to work and how long is my company going to give me health insurance, for example, right?
Or even gratuity or even pensions, how much will it
my life is going to change. Somebody who gets disabled now needs to spend money on making his home compatible to handicap access. He's probably got to build an elevator. Where's he going to get that money from, right? Insurance, your health insurance is not going to pay for it. So that's pure protection, right? Now on the other end you have people who say, I'm going to pay for like 20, 30 years and then what if I don't die?
Correct.
Then what? You wasted my money. Right? So for people who are looking for that money to also be a form of regular savings, there is what we call a whole of life insurance where you not only get the insurance covers that are typically under your term insurance, but your money also goes to work in terms of investments, steady investments. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not for someone who wants to make a quick buck.
Like crypto.
Yeah.
That's super quick.
But someone who wants an easy way to regularly put some money aside. And then at the end of the tenure, you could use that money, for example, for your child's college education. You could use that money for let's say your kid's marriage. You're buying a house, retiring, so then there are various ways in which those products are bundled, and at Insurance Market we've got dedicated life insurance advisors. The first thing is to help you understand how much is enough considering your current income, how many kids have you got. It's not about shoving a product down your neck, right? It's about understanding whether this suits you better or that. We'll talk to you about what kind of current investments and savings are you already doing. Maybe what you're doing is good enough, and what you need is just protection. For an untimely, God forbid,
tragedy,
tragedy.
Right.
But for some people, financial literacy is a challenge. Like they don't know how to play the stock market or invest in mutual funds. So it might be easier for them to combine a life insurance perhaps with a regular savings concept, and then 15, 20 years down the line, they get a payout if nothing happens. And as that money grows, and if something does happen, that benefit goes down to the beneficiary.
Are there any policies, Mahesh, from region to region that are different, or it's more or less similar everywhere?
So we work with the some of the largest international players, and their products are somewhat standardized all over the world. And even some of the local insurers, generally it fits into 2 or 3 buckets, where people may put jazzy words to it, and tell you, oh, this is our Education Pro plus plus. At the back end, you've got an advisor telling you, slow down, don't get excited. We are here to break this down and make it simple for you.
Nice. And the thing is that, when we talk about different insurance providers as well, does InsuranceMarket.ae have their own insurance policy?
So we are an insurance brokerage firm, which means
but
that...
do you have any plans of starting your own...
no, we are dedicated to serving this market as independent advisors to tell you what's best and keep an eye on what's changing and make sure you get the best possible
Since
deal.
you mentioned changing, So you started a decade earlier. You came into the market.
A little
Mahesh?
bit more than a
little
decade,
bit
yeah.
more than that. Times have changed. Have you felt any change in that regard?
Yes, so there's definitely more cars on the road. There's more people in Dubai.
Right.
People are becoming more tech savvy. So
Okay.
we are doing our best to keep up to date, make sure that people are able to get things easy. You know, people don't, back in the days when I started, you know, I had my business cards and I would go door to door.
Nice.
And then, you know, sweat and all, Bar Dubai, take the
Wow.
Abra,
Wow.
all of that stuff.
Wow,
Yeah.
Manish.
So now it's like people, I'm sitting at my desk, I've got a team of advisors, my focus is training them, and there's people inquiring about business insurance, you know, specialty risks in our website, and we are prepared to assist you from a distance. And, you know, so I guess we were sort of prepared for COVID before COVID happened in terms of a business.
I think so, yeah. It worked.
And
for you.
during COVID as well, you know, people suddenly started realizing that, you know, life is so precious, you better
Agreed.
have a backup plan.
Agreed.
And also, there are so many types of insurance that we came across as we grew up. But
Right.
already, because of InsuranceMarket.ae, we know so much. Like, car was very necessary at one point.
Right.
Life has become very necessary. What are the important insurances which people need to have?
So if we say people, let's talk about individuals. I would say, you know, probably in order of importance, your life and critical illness cover.
Sure.
Your health insurance, of course, you know, either for regulatory purposes or, you know, because, you know, medical expenses are unpredictable. And then home, car, and even travel, if you travel a lot, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I would say that's the
And when
in
you
order of
say
importance.
home, how does that work? Home insurance.
Right. So whether you're a tenant or a unit owner that occupies this unit,
Okay.
you've spent some money on furnishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bought some nice
Artwork,
expensive
spec-
artwork,
yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah.
You bought some jewelry, or you have inherited jewelry, for example.
Okay.
Correct.
You know,
Correct. Or you broke the wall and you found that there is some
Yeah.
gold biscuits
Treasure.
stacked up.
So whether you know, whether you're a unit owner or a tenant, there's stuff that you own, and it could get damaged in a house fire. One of the common things that we see is actually water
Right.
damages. So
Right.
you'll have heat in the summer and a pipe blows, and then now the carpet is damaged, the sofa is damaged,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't stop there. It leaks through the floor and then goes to your neighbor, and then your neighbor says, "Now you got to pay for my bed too."
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Right, so it's
so
not
third
only-
party also it covers.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And one other thing that is an underrated feature, I believe, is that yes, I'll pay for your furniture, but then up until all of that's sorted, now you're literally homeless if it's a major disaster.
Oh, yes.
So the insurance policy will also cover the cost of putting you up in an alternative accommodation until
Short
your
term.
home can, you know, or you can
Yeah,
get back to the same
refurbished.
flat, or you know, permanently move to another place.
Of course, we are living in a very, very safe city, but at times, you know, things happen. If it's stolen and all, it covers that
Yes.
as well?
So when it comes to your general contents at home, burglary, forced entry, forced exit is covered. And if it's your personal belongings, such as maybe you're a watch collector, you know, maybe you have jewelry, wherever you are in the world, you can get it covered. If it's snatched while you're on holiday in India,
Okay.
Europe, or whatever.
Okay.
So your home insurance policy is not limited to the home.
Amazing.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's quite affordable, and I think more and more people should think about it, because a small one bedroom apartment regular guy would probably spend more on 2 weekends out.
That is the monthly premium you're talking about.
No, the annual.
Annual. Wow, Mahesh.
Thank you for that.
But please tell us about, you know, the premiums as well. What if people miss out or they're not able to pay those premiums?
Okay, so when it comes to specifically life insurance is a bit different than the others. So I'll just talk about life first. You have a sort of a grace period between 30 to 60 days in which if there is a death, it will still be covered.
Okay.
But after that, your policy goes into what we call a suspension mode.
Okay.
Now, if you quickly pay up all your premiums due, the cover's activated.
Okay.
But if you let it lapse for a longer period, like 6 months or 12 months, depending on the insurer, then it's considered that it's completely cancelled, it's over, and now you have to apply a fresh policy all over again, go through the medicals and the forms and everything, which were there to help you, but it's definitely not an ideal situation.
I think so.
When
yeah.
it comes to you know, what we call, you know, general insurances, say your motor, home, you know, business insurances, the premium is collected in advance for the period of insurance. It's an annual renewable contract most of the time,
Okay.
and then your insurer will tell you around 30 or 45 days, we'll get in touch with you. It's coming up for renewal. This is what's gonna be for the next year, and then you have to pay. So if you do lapse, you are basically uncovered.
Excellent information, and right here, so many details. If there's something on your mind, do share with us. Quick break. We'll be back in Talk Breakfast on Talk 100.3.
Talk 100.3 Sport.
Starting with football, and Arsenal have confirmed the signing of Nike.
So they don't really know exactly what to get covered for. Think about cafes, restaurants, salons.
E-commerce?
Well, an e-commerce business like, say, Noon would not be a small business. It would be a huge business.
Okay.
But, yes, there are some smaller retailers that, probably they operate out of small office. Yeah.
Or virtual office from home.
Virtual office, perhaps. So these guys, what we've got is that we've got packages for them where you've got 5 or 6 major types of cover bundled in, checks all the boxes. It's very easy. And it's very affordable and very quick to just cover everything, So
For example,
everything for damage to your contents in your office.
But if you're making loss in your business, does that cover?
If you're making a trading or an economic loss due to whatever reason, no. But if there is a interruption to your business following a fire, now your sales turnover is 0. There is a reduction in your gross profit. The insurance can cover that. So if it's related to any kind of a property damage that they are covering, yes, that interruption in business can be covered.
And you also have different packages when it comes to small businesses?
Yes, we do. So we've got, for example, if you're a restaurant, then, the food poisoning element gets added in. If you're a salon, then the treatment risk. So somebody puts a little bit too much of those chemicals on your head,
chemical,
burns your skin. Now they're suing you.
Right.
Where are you going to get the money to pay for that mess? Correct. So all of that gets bundled in. Even theft of cash. If you're dropping cash off to the bank and it gets snatched. If, for example, one of your employees unfortunately decided to do something bad and steal some money and run away. Injury to your workers, which is a work-related injury, which your health insurance typically doesn't cover. In accordance with labor law. All of that gets bundled in, and it becomes a great way for a small business to sort of get secured. Everything under one policy, and easy to manage.
And I think for a small business, the first question that they always come up with is, how costly is it going to be?
All right.
Yes.
So yeah, I love these questions about how much does it cost. I can give you an example, but it may not. I can give you an example, but yeah. So think about a guy running a small office, let's say a consultancy. He spent around 100,000 on his furniture, a few laptops, lights, and stuff like that. He's got 5 employees in there. I'll bundle in like 5 or 6 sections of cover to protect him. For probably 800 dirhams a year. Maybe
That's
9.
pretty
Wow!
decent.
And what's the cover that he'll be getting?
So he'll be covered for property damage to the furniture if there is a fire or if there is a water pipe bursting situation. Damage to the neighboring property, or damage, injury to a customer if they visit, if you slip and trip and bang your head, or if and I'll also cover injury to the employees for any work-related injuries, and like I mentioned earlier, theft of cash.
So 800 dirhams annually.
Very neat.
Yeah,
Wow.
for a small business, it's great. And sometimes some of these businesses, because you're in a free zone or in a mall, you have to comply with those regulations of that mall. So we'll make sure that once we know your location, we know what you have to comply with and what limits you need, etc., so that you'll get an insurance, you can produce it to the mall, and they'll let you operate, or you can renew your trade license. So we've got the background, we've got the information, we know what to do.
Now, this brings me to this question. When you mentioned about restaurant and having their insurance cover, I came across some restaurants and they were telling me that, they were being fined for hygiene, for this, and, certain fines which was given by authorities. Does insurance cover that as well?
No. So generally,
Of course not.
so
Irresponsibility.
if we start covering fines for restaurants, then every car insurance customer will say, "Give me the speeding fine insurance."
Yeah, of course. Well,
I
that's.
don't want to be there, man.
But we'll also
You
cover
can't
if there's
promote
some
bad behavior.
questions that we've got from our listeners. We can quickly cover because we're running out of time.
Yeah, we've got a caller. In fact, Iftikhar with us on the line. Iftikhar ji, good morning. आपको आवाज आ रही है हमारी?
गुड मॉर्निंग, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम इफ्तिखार। महेश आपको सुन सकते हैं, सो यू कैन।
असल में हाँ, आप कह रही हैं थोड़ा सा टाइम है, मैं सिर्फ ये पूछना चाह रहा था और शेयर भी थोड़ा सा करना चाह रहा लाइफ इंश्योरेंस के बारे में।
जी जी।
मतलब मैंने लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ली थी, पॉलिसी मैंने कुछ पढ़ा नहीं, लेटर ऑन जब मैंने पढ़ा तो उसमें मुझे जो समझ आया वो इनके हिसाब से मरना पड़ेगा तो इंश्योरेंस मिलेगी।
हाँ, बट वो डिपेंड्स कि आपने कौन सा लिया था, राइट? सो मेच्योरिटी अलग होता है, प्योर प्रोटेक्शन अलग होता है।
एक्सीडेंट इंश्योरेंस, हाँ,
एक्सीडेंट इंश्योरेंस, ओके।
हाँ,
अच्छा।
तो कुछ ऐसे पॉलिसीज हैं जो खाली एक्सीडेंटल डेथ कवर करते हैं। मतलब आप को कोई बीमारी की वजह से खुदा न खास्ता कुछ हो गया तो वो कवर नहीं होगा, तो इनको हम पर्सनल एक्सीडेंट पॉलिसीज बोलते हैं, जो खाली एक्सीडेंटल डेथ या एक्सीडेंटल डिसेबिलिटी कवर करेंगे। अगर आप एक लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ढूंढ रहे हैं जो सब कवर करता है, नेचुरल डेथ हो या एक्सीडेंटल डेथ, तो प्लीज हमें कांटेक्ट करें।
महेश, आपने लाइफ इंश्योरेंस करवाई भी?
ऑफ कोर्स, दो पॉलिसी।
अच्छा।
सो इफ्तिकार, InsuranceMarket.ae पे, हाँ,
मैं थोड़ा सा ये पूछना चाह रहा था, देखिए अगर लाइफ इंश्योरेंस भी मैंने करवाई है, वो कहते हैं अगर क्रॉस फायरिंग में मारे जाए तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, वायलेंस में मारे गए तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा।
अच्छा,
और
अच्छा।
इस तरह की चीजें, मतलब मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा हूँ, पॉलिसी मेकर्स जो हैं, अब इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी दे रहे हैं, बंदा तो चला गया दुनिया से, वायलेंस में चला गया, क्रॉस फायरिंग में चला गया, लेता ही इसीलिए है कि पीछे जो फैमिली है उसको थोड़ा बेनिफिट हो जाए, मरने के बाद शायद उनको कुछ मतलब फाइनेंशियल वो हो जाए।
करेक्ट।
तो लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि ये तो फिर बहुत एक मेजर डिजास्टर हो जाएगा उन लोगों के लिए जो हमारे पीछे हैं, अगर वो इस चीज में पड़े रहेंगे कि इंश्योरेंस तो है लेकिन अब वो
मिल नहीं रहा है,
वो
क्लेम नहीं हो पा
क्योंकि
रहा है।
वो-
ओके।
तो ये थोड़ा मैं पूछना चाह रहा था कि इस बारे में क्या कुछ वर्क कर रहे हैं, अपडेट्स हैं, या वो सेम ही पॉलिसियां रहेंगी?
नहीं, तो पहले तो बहुत दुख की बात है कि आपके पास एक पॉलिसी है जो आपको बाद में पता चला है कि आपके काम नहीं आए। पर
मैंने कैंसिल करवा दी इसीलिए।
हाँ, लेकिन
ओके।
अगर आप किसी प्रोफेशनल से डिस्कस करेंगे कि मुझे क्या चाहिए, यू नो,
आपके नीड्स,
मेरा फर्ज ये है कि आपकी बात मैं सुनूं, समझूं, और आपको क्या चाहिए वो आपके लिए सामने लेके आऊं, और आपको ये भी बताऊं कि इसमें क्या क्या कवर्ड नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है इंश्योरेंस में कि आप समझें कि ये एक डेबिट कार्ड तो है नहीं।
करेक्ट।
राइट।
हाँ।
तो इसमें कुछ लिमिटेशंस होती हैं। हर एक पॉलिसी में कुछ ना कुछ कंडीशन तो होता है। काम हमारा है आपको समझाना कि इसमें लिमिटेशंस क्या है, ताकि आप एक्सपेक्टेशंस आपके मैनेज रहें।
पूरा नॉलेज आपको हो कि व्हाट यू आर गेटिंग इनटू।
ठीक है,
ये जरूरी है। बहुत शुक्रिया इफ्तिखार, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
Yeah, have a nice day.
You
as
too,
well.
Iftikhar. Always nice to hear from you. Yes, 0586861003. Pretty busy?
Arshad का मैसेज, वी गॉट अ मैसेज दैट नाउ क्या हो रहा है कि हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस आल्सो इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड यू नीड टू हैव हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस फॉर वीजा एज वेल। सो इंडिविजुअल के लिए Arshad is asking if you could help him out with health insurance individuals.
So of course we can help individuals out on health insurance. It's a big part of what we do, and we have plans for starting from the basic mandatory, just because you want to get your visa renewed or something like that. Although
Any
we
age?
don't. Well, for the mandatory insurances, you'll get a cover up to even somebody who's even 80.
Okay.
The thing is that as you start looking for better cover, then the prices for people over the 50 to 60 age bracket
that differs.
starts becoming unaffordable. When it comes to individual insurances, you're also subject to sort of a review of your medical history. So if you want something covered, for example, you have diabetes, you have to declare it. The insurer will reprice based on what you've your current health status, and then cover you from day one. So there is a product for different age bands. There is a product that suits somebody who's willing to pay more to get dental cover or worldwide cover. And then but my suggestion is that the cheapest has its limitations. If you're thinking about your health from checking a box perspective, people can get financially ruined by medical debt.
Right.
So think about the options, reach out to us. We might be able to find you a solution that it's not the most expensive, best Rolls Royce of health insurances, but it's way better than the basic. And tomorrow, if there is something that you need support on, that you'll see that money went to good use,
But also there is a chance that on maturity you get the money back for medical insurance. Is there an option for that as well?
On medical insurance, no.
Only for critical illness as well?
So on if critical illness is bundled into a savings linked life insurance policy, then yes.
Okay.
But then of course if you do get diagnosed with a critical illness and they pay out, then it affects the how much you get at.
Correct. And how do you choose an amount for your cover? That is such a difficult question. Or
that's where InsuranceMarket.ae steps in.
Yes. So we need to. It's not that simple. It's easy for me to say ballpark 10 times your current income, ballpark 5 times your current income. But we need to understand what your future plans are. I need to understand what other investments you've already done. Maybe you've already locked up some money.
Correct.
And now the disposable income that's left, I can't make you spend a lot more. You got to pay bills. You got to pay rent.
Absolutely.
And whatever we offer you has to be something sustainable that you can continue to pay 10 saal, 20 saal, 30 saal.
Exactly.
ना कि अरे अभी महंगा पड़ रहा है
हाँ,
मुझे
तो मैं
बंद
बंद कर रहा हूँ. Yeah.
Well, last minute, if you have any, I think lots of questions not be
Yeah,
able to
we
cover.
have voice notes as well. Lekin we can't listen to it. But we got a question. Is it for all Emirates? InsuranceMarket.ae?
So when it comes to we do serve the whole UAE. When it comes to health insurance, we are not participating in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi because we're not licensed by the Emirate of Abu Dhabi for health insurance. We don't have a branch there.
Sure.
But we do motor, life,
Okay.
business insurance across the UAE.
And this is the same question that we got, for Abu Dhabi as well. One specific question. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to happen soon, yeah?
And Mahesh, next time when you're coming in, can you bring Alfred as well?
Whose voice is it?
It's top secret. I can't tell you that.
It's you, right?
No. I wish I sounded that good.
You do sound good though. But give our regards to Alfred.
I will.
Great. It was a pleasure having you in
Indeed.
our
Thank you
studios.
so much for having me, guys.
Thanks,
I
Mahesh.
really
Talk to you
enjoyed it.
soon.
Thank you.
Yes, Mahesh, COO of InsuranceMarket.ae. This is how simple as it gets within 30 minutes. We tried covering everything. Otherwise, you can always get in touch with them. And their representatives are always happy to serve you.